No way I'm leaving without finding out about Mother. Locked. I'll never get it open barehanded. There we are. Great. Honey. This looks like a pistol case, but it's empty. I don't know if this has anything to do with you, Mother, but if it does, at least now you're armed. Just like in my vision. And none of it's telling me anything useful. This wharf is used as storage for a lot of barrels. Uh-huh. What have we here? It's cannon powder. The powder's wet. Not surprising, given the dampness of the dock. It's unusable now. I don't know what the person who left this barrel like this had in mind, but it's a waste. Apparently, someone on this island has gone through a whole lot of trouble to arm themselves. I really must find you, dear Mother, and quickly too. A fragment of amber. Looks like the barrel's been broken for quite some time. A sack of seeds. It's unopened. No one seems to have used any. Must be an incredible view from up there. Impossible to set foot on the island without being seen from 300 meters away. Looks like a bar from an old gate. This miserable old bar has been broken fairly recently. The edges are still clean, and the tip is blackened. Without analysis to the contrary, I put my money on cannon powder. This might just come in handy. This chest might belong to Duchess Hillsborough. Some rope. Apparently no one's touched it for a good long time. Let's see what's hidden inside. Let's look. It's too badly written, I can't make out the address. The address is 50 Bedford Square, London. A letter written in an Oriental language. I haven't the slightest idea what it says. The addressee's in Sao Paulo, Brazil. That reminds me, it's about time the Order sent some envoys there. Probably a Dutchman. This envelope is meant for the Vatican. Apparently this letter is meant for Pope Pius VI, born Giovanni Braschi. I wonder which one of these people is influential enough to write to the Pope in person. Samuel Ritter d'Auchois. Mother, you test me even when you're not here. It's an anagram of Louis Moras de Riche. You wanted to write to me then. Let's see what's inside this letter. So.
Dear Samuel, my stay on Lord Mortimer's island is going wonderfully well. As I find myself in such charming company, I plan to stay a few more weeks. Would you be so kind as to send me a gift that I'd like to give to our old friend Manuel Godoy? I would be most grateful. I have been told that he's going to join us here soon. I would like to mark the occasion. Thank you in advance. Yours devotedly, Sarah Faustine de Riche.
What is your game here, Mother? What are these strange turns of phrase? Never heard you speak like that. What's going on here? That you write to me under a pen name, okay. But here you go even further, by trying to avoid raising any suspicions should anyone else read it. I wonder if this Godoy is the person you came looking for. Think! Godoy. Manuel Godoy. Why does that name sound so familiar? I'm guessing he's a man of some importance. Spanish, I'd say. But I just can't put a face to him. Well, hope we meet to talk about it soon, Mother. I don't know what you've gotten yourself into this time, but I'll bet you've got a lot to tell me. Let's see what's hidden inside. Let's look. An address in Cairo, Egypt. Mortimer communicates with the whole world, apparently. Probably a Dutchman. This envelope is meant for the Vatican. Apparently this letter is meant for Pope Pius VI, born Giovanni Braschi. I wonder which one of these people is influential enough to write to the Pope in person. Latin inscription. Annesis, mi fili quantilia produncia mundus ergatur. You don't know, my son, how little wisdom the world is governed with. I tend to agree. how did Mortimer manage to build his manor at the top of a rocky outcrop? Impressive.
Ah, my son. I was looking for you.
What can I do for you, Your Eminence?
I wanted to ask you. You are the son of Sara de Ricci, aren't you? You see, your mother and I were supposed to meet here on this very spot. I was supposed to hand her a very important envelope. But I haven't seen her.
If only Mother had told me why she was coming here. Anyway, I ought to take the envelope. It might have something to do with her disappearance. Listen, if it will help, you can always give it to me.
Well, thank you, my son. I'll bear that in mind. I'd rather deal with her directly. Don't take it personally. Would you happen to know if your mother has arrived yet?
Certainly, Your Eminence. Mother got here some time ago. I was hoping to find her when I arrived, but given the hour, she must be asleep by now.
Right. I shall see her tomorrow.
By the way, Your Eminence, I wasn't aware you knew my mother.
Ah, if you only knew, my son. I hold your mother in the highest regard. She has rendered great service to the church, and her help is invaluable. I hope that you will follow in her footsteps.
If only she had told me where she was headed.
Nonetheless, our exchanges have always been discreet, and I should like them to remain as such. If your mother wishes to speak to you about us one day, I will not mind if she does so.
That is very commendable. But since we work together on a daily basis, it's surely just an oversight.
Most certainly. You said you work together. What do you do exactly?
My mother and I belong to the same secret organization, the Golden Order, which I joined a few years ago. Mother trained me, and I assist in her research. In other words, you can trust me.
My child, you are telling a perfect stranger that you and your mother work for a secret society. It would seem that discretion is not one of your specialities, my son. You will understand that it does not encourage me to put my trust on you.
Shit! All the same, it bothers me to see you in a quandary, Your Eminence. Is there any other solution? Look, if it's of any help, you can always leave your envelope with me and I'll give it to her as soon as I see her.
I hesitate. Up till now, we have always dealt with her in person, and that has always been successful. Do you think I should give it to you?
Don't worry, Your Eminence. Your secret is safe with me. You know my mother's reputation. As her son, I will defend the de Richet's word with the same fervor.
Ah, I would expect nothing less. Listen to me, my child. If I give you the letter, can you promise me before God that no one other than your mother will read it?
So it's not through a lack of goodwill, but I'd rather swear by something else.
Ah, I beg your pardon?
I mean, to be honest with you, and for my promise to keep all its value, I assure you, it would be better if I didn't swear before God. I shall swear upon my mother's life, if you prefer.
Are you aware the enormity of what you just said to me, young man?
I swear by the Almighty God to honor the promise that no one but my mother shall cast her gaze upon your letter.
Good. Listen, let's stop there. I'm going to tell you a secret, Monsieur de Richet. Your mother and I are organizing the escape of a large number of French priests who face a massacre organized by the accursed Republican tribunals. The church is literally being bled like a beast. Without your mother, hundreds of men of the cloth would have gone to the guillotine. She has made the services of your order available to us by organizing the priests' safe passage across the borders. Even if she does not share all our convictions, she always provided assistance. Young man, you can be proud to be her son. Be it only for her sake. Always respect your name. Here, the letter I spoke of. It includes a list of about 15 names ready for departure. Be quick. Remember to tell Sarah when you see her that time is short.
Well played. I'll decide later when I'm alone whether to look at what it contains. Lives of the Noble Greeks and Romans by Plutarch, a biography of the great men. Open to Brutus's page. Caesar, stabbed by multiple blows at once, sees Brutus raise the dagger on him. Then, covering his head with his robe, he delivers himself to the arms of the conspirators. Nice family. Let's keep it. Might come in handy someday.
I thought my chimney was big, but this one is beyond belief.
It's the least one can say. I've been longing for a warm fire for ages.
Since I set foot on the island, I haven't ventured more than 2 yards away from it.
Have you also just arrived?
Oh, late morning, I'd say.
Louis, come join us. Monsieur, may I introduce you to Monseigneur His Eminence, Cardinal Piaggi. He joins us straight from Rome.
Oh, just call me Your Eminence. It's simple.
George Washington, President of the United States of America.
Delighted at last to make your acquaintance, Mr. President.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. President. Louis Maurras de Richet. It is an honor to meet you.
Young man, let's keep it simple, please. Let us forget our fancy titles. Nice to meet you, Louis.
I should imagine you never thought you'd be in such company.
I must admit that I didn't. It's the first time that I've ever met so many illustrious personalities.
And you haven't seen anything yet. Generally, when Lord Mortimer organizes one of his receptions, there are over a dozen people here.
They can't all be here yet, and you'll see, most of the time there's only the upper crust.
And I noticed you were already getting to know His Eminence at the entrance. It's the perfect place to build up a network. What were you talking about, if you forgive my indiscretion?
No conspiracies on the horizon here, sir. His Eminence was just wondering how the devil our dear Mortimer got supplies in.
No, I simply did not deem this subject worthy enough to expose it before everyone.
Oh, pity. No scrumptious gossip or juicy tidbits, unmentionable secrets, or even money matters. But you'll see, it will come. Despite all the goodwill in the world, you can't stop people scheming left and right around here.
Speak for yourself, sir.
Well, my friends, do any of you know the reason why we're here this time?
Not in the slightest. As for me, I've been invited by Sir Holm, a close friend of Lord Mortimer, but I do not know the reason why.
You see, Louis, every time Lord Mortimer organizes a reception, he always finds a moment to set up a chat with all the guests.
During which time we remake the world.
Accompanied by gallons of absinthe and cussing. I'll leave you to imagine the result.
So, if I understand rightly, Monsieur de Richet, you've come out here to join your mother. For what reason, exactly?
Like you, Mr. President, I'm here as a result of Lord Mortimer's invitation.
2 members of the same family here. That is rare.
You know what they say. You can pick your nose, but you can't pick your family.
Seriously, though, I know your mother well. Stay behind with me afterwards, and we'll take a moment to speak about her.
Good evening, my friend.
Holy shit. That's the man from my vision.
An urgent case has delayed our host, Lord Mortimer. He can't be present this evening, and he sends his deepest apologies.
He's asked me here and he hasn't even turned up? Great start. Do you know that man?
Sir Gregory Holm, an English aristocrat, very influential. He's also close to Lord Mortimer, so don't be surprised if he acts like he's at home.
And now, my dear guests, a light meal is served in the small salon. For those who would like to, you're invited to follow me into the next room.
My dear fellow, you must have read my thoughts. I shall follow.
We'll have to be careful not to make too much noise. One of Lord Mortimer's guests is relaxing.
Oh, we shall be quiet.
Don't take it the wrong way, Sir Holm, but I have already eaten. Thus, I shall be happy to remain by the fireside.
If you don't mind, Gregory, I should like to keep Mr. Washington company.
Please feel at home. And you, sir?
If I stay with Washington, we'll be able to speak about my mother. But on the other hand, I'd like to learn more about this home. I saw him in my vision. Let's see what Washington has to say. Sir, if you don't mind, I shall stay here.
Do exactly as you please, young man.
Louis, thank you for staying. Just like you, when I arrived this morning, I found out that Sarah had gone missing. I know your mother well. Don't worry. Emily is from the English branch of the Golden Order.
And President Washington is in fact the leader of the Order in the United States.
I didn't know.
Sorry to have made you wait, but I didn't want to speak in front of the others.
You did well. Secrecy and discretion are the pillars of our organization.
If I can help in any way at all, please don't hesitate to ask, my lad. And if you have any other questions, now's the time.
And you, Emily, what do you think of my mother?
I only know her through the Order. The one time we met, we only exchanged a few words in a corridor of Parliament.
And was the exchange courteous or impassioned?
I'm not sure if I understand.
Was there any reason for her to be angry with you?
Under other circumstances, I would slap your face for even asking, but I'll put your lack of tact down to her disappearance. Know that your mother is a woman I would love to work with. Her reputation is entirely deserved. Mr. Washington will be able to tell you more.
Mr. Washington, you seem to be very familiar with my mother. Where did you first meet her?
I met Sarah during the War of Independence on American soil. She was introduced to me by a mutual acquaintance, and I must say that her sound advice prevented me from making some terrible mistakes. She may not be a soldier, but believe me, she deserves a statue as much as Lafayette does.
Well, I didn't see that one coming. There's no doubt Mother has many secrets that are still hidden. Right. Would it be too much if I asked you a few more questions?
Not at all. Go ahead. But I can't promise I'll remember everything.
May I ask, when you saw each other, what did you talk about? My mother has always been fascinated by strange powers. Did she talk to you about anything like that?
Yes. Her facility for discerning truths from rumor served me well. Such as preventing massacres, like the one at Salem, from happening again. Or convincing people that horsemen cannot ride around without heads. What was it that she used to say now?
Keep an open and logical mind?
Yes, that's it.
Thank you, sir. I was hoping to speak with Lord Mortimer. At least now I have some information, thanks to you.
I repeat, Lord Mortimer is a man of his word. You won't be disappointed. And I am persuaded that your mother's research is his main concern.
I wonder if Mother is still on the island. Could she not have taken a boat and left?
I don't see how. No vessel can moor closer than 200 yards, not to mention the permanent presence of staff and servants. There is one strange thing, I grant you. This island is barely the size of Delaware, and despite that, no one has been able to locate your mother.
So my mother still must be on the island.
Don't worry, Louis. I'm sure nothing bad has happened to her.
Yes, I hope not.
Careful, they're coming back.
Das schriftliche Schreiben.
Well, I am impressed with all this splendor.
But don't spend too much time with Mr. Washington, my dear, or you'll lose your pretty accent. You seem to be intrigued by that statue.
Absolutely. It is remarkable.
Lord Mortimer is fond of atypical works of art. I won't disguise the fact that I find it all a little megalomaniacal. But I must say, he does have some outstanding pieces.
Sir Holm, who was that young lady with you?
Elizabeth Adams, Mr. President. She would have liked to have stayed with us, but the poor thing is exhausted.
Elizabeth Adams?
Miss Adams is here to rest. You have perhaps already come across her in the corridors. She arrived a few days ago.
I perceived her, but we weren't introduced.
Rest assured, she is not here for the same reasons as yourselves. Consequently, I'm counting on your indulgence. On that note, it's very late. You must be exhausted. The servant will accompany you to your... rooms.
Ladies, gentlemen, I bid you all good night. Mr. President, Your Eminence, Duchess, you have the same rooms as usual. You, Monsieur de Richet, will find your room at the end of the corridor.
Well, my friends, I am bone tired. I am off to my bed. See you in the morning.
Good night, sir. I shall do likewise.
Louis, I shall see you in the morning. Sleep well.
Good night. See you tomorrow. Oh, man. It's been quite a day. Right. Where is my room? Duke Manuel Godoy. Huh, that's me. Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi. Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi. Monsieur Jacques Perru. Monsieur Napoléon Bonaparte. Duchess Emily Hillsborough. Duchess Emily Hillsborough. Duke Manuel Godoy. Huh, that's me. Right. So what shall I do with this letter? It might be about my mother's disappearance. But if I open it, I'll be betraying Piaggi's trust. What should I do? Damn. Can't wait to open it, but I gave my word to Piaggi, so too bad. I'll wait until I hand it to Mother. Wow! Nice room. Mortimer sure doesn't do things halfway. Inferno by Dante. Abandon hope, all ye who enter here.
Your turn? The servants are not very efficient.
De Richet can't be far away. They'll find her soon. Their search time is restricted, given that they must keep an eye on Adams.
I can take care of her, you know.
Yes. Well, in any case, I do thank you for bringing her to the island.
From what I've understood, the search of de Richet's room hasn't turned up any results.
Not yet, no. But we've put her son in there. Perhaps he'll find something.
That might come in handy.
Louis grows impatient at not yet having met the famous Lord Mortimer.
He will meet him tomorrow.
Oh, what a pity to lose a knight at the start of the game. Are you waiting for someone?
A young French soldier.
During our game of chess?
Don't worry, Gregory. The game won't disappear. I'll have one of my men escort you back.
Don't trouble yourself. I know my way out.
Ah, good evening, gentlemen. Please forgive me for this late hour.
It is never too late. And we have much to discuss. One last move?
Don't worry. Our games always seem to end like this.
Or always start like this. Come, take a seat, my friend.
A little nighttime stroll, Mr. President?
There's nothing like it for a good night's sleep.
Do not hesitate to ask a servant to show you back.
The corridors seem quite safe.
Peppermint, lime flower, and valerian. My miracle remedy when one can't get to sleep. A very good night to you, Mr. President.
Thank you. And to you too, sir.
I'm coming. The incredulity of St. Thomas. Why is Caravaggio representing St. Thomas putting his finger in the wound? Thomas looks on, but doesn't. The Last Judgment. Why do I always get the most terrifying room?
Dear Monsieur de Richet. Dear Monsieur de Richet. Dear Monsieur de Richet.
The inspiration of St. Matthew, or Matthew writing his gospel, dictated to him by voices. Inferno by Dante. Abandon hope, all ye who enter here. Lovely lectures Mortimer's giving to his guests. Saturn devouring his son. Again? I saw the same theme in the hall. There's a circle around the lock here. There's a note. Effects of Sœur de Richet, to be given to her son, Louis. I should probably take it. All right. I've retrieved everything.
Excuse me. Am I bothering you?
No, not in the least. Is something wrong?
I'm going to need your help. Do you remember the young lady we spoke of in the hall?
Elizabeth Adams. Home introduced her to us.
Yes. Well, she is the daughter of my friend, the Vice President, John Adams. But she is supposed to be dead.
Yeah, that's bizarre. Fair enough.
Good heavens! I was present at her funeral.
It is disturbing indeed.
Yes. I need to make sure it's her. That's where you come in. I want you to distract Elizabeth while I search her room. And perhaps get my hands on some important information. At least, I hope so. Elizabeth is in the small salon. If you hurry, you can still catch her. I just need 10 minutes.
But if my vision is true, there are two men nearby discussing very important issues, and one of them looks much like Mortimer. Washington is very kind, but I came to this island for my mother, not for his ghost stories. Count on me, sir.
Thank you, my friend. Keep Elizabeth downstairs as long as possible. She must not return to her room.
Trust me. According to Washington, Lady Adams is in the small salon. I better hurry. Tell me, my good man.
Yes, sir?
Would you know by any chance where the small salon is?
Of course, sir. Go down the stairs to the Great Hall. Once downstairs, take the door on your right.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you need?
My son. Oh, you are a godsend.
What's the matter, Your Eminence?
I believe Miss Adams may be in danger.
What do you mean?
Do you hear that? She is being manhandled in the small salon.
By whom?
I don't know exactly. A thug, a Frenchman, it seems. By the cut of his cloth, I'd say he's a member of the French Revolutionary Guard. You should do something, my son.
Shit. I was supposed to make sure Adams wouldn't go back to her room. Don't worry, Your Eminence. I'll take care of it. Probably nothing to worry about.
Do you want me to call for help?
Please don't do anything. I'm sure with a little goodwill, everything will work out fine. Don't go and wake up the whole manor, please.
Thank you, my son. May God watch over you.
Who do you think you are?
Forgive me, sir.
If we were in France, I'd have sent you to the guillotine for what you just said.
Please, just let me go back to my room.
Hey, you! Stay out of it! This is none of your business. I'm gonna teach this little slut how to behave.
What the hell is going on?
Huh? I don't think you know who I am.
Stop. I beg you. I didn't mean to. Don't hit me, please, sir.
Shit. If I step in, Adams might just run back to her room. And if I do nothing, yes, Washington will have enough time to search, but this girl's gonna suffer. Damn it, what should I do?
You filthy whore!
I apologize. Have mercy. Please have mercy. No!
I apologize. Nah. Mercy, have mercy. Nah, nah, nah. Where's that smart mouth now? I'll teach you a little respect. Huh?
Look, you dumbass! Are you deaf? She said she was sorry.
Call me that again. That's what I thought. Now get out! I have to deal with this dirty slut.
Well, did you get time to search the room?
Yes, I found out many things.
Good.
Did Elizabeth give you any trouble?
Elizabeth? No. Well, you could have mentioned she was with a raving maniac, huh?
What do you mean?
She was with a Frenchman. He was about to beat her when I arrived.
What the devil are you talking about?
I thought he was gonna kill the poor girl.
Did you intervene?
I did what was necessary to give you enough time to search her room.
Good work, my friend. I knew that I could count on you.
So tell me, did you find any information?
Oh, yes. What I found is likely to upset you.
What do you mean by that?
Elizabeth is indeed the daughter of John Adams.
Why pass her off as dead?
I found her medical file. It appears that for many years, your mother was her personal doctor. From what I read, she behaved more like a butcher than a doctor.
What are you talking about? I'm not a child. What's going on here?
John believed that his daughter was possessed. He appealed to your mother to save her, but the treatment she inflicted on the poor child... My God.
Look, stop beating around the bush. What exactly did she do to her?
Do you believe your mother capable of torturing a child?
My mother got her hands dirty for the common good, so don't be too quick to judge her.
For the common good? We're talking about the vivisection of a child. Of tattooing her from head to foot with a red-hot iron.
Stop this.
For her 5th birthday, she inflicted the stigmata of Christ on her. And for her 10th birthday, a hysterectomy. What kind of gift is that for a child?
My mother is not a monster.
I do not doubt that your mother meant well. But the techniques described in the file, it is pure torture.
Please. I need some time alone.
I have seen some horrors in my time. But if what is written in these damned documents is true, be brave, my boy.
Your Eminence, what are you doing here?
I was worried about you, my son. How did it go with Miss Adams?
Everything went well. There's no need to worry.
Which means...
The situation was more complex than it looked at first glance.
What? The poor child was indeed being bullied by a thug, wasn't she?
Let's just say you didn't have a complete picture of the situation, Your Eminence. Maybe it's because it's harder to feel things when one is sheltered behind the door.
Now, listen to me, my son. I went in search of the servants.
You weren't able to find them, were you?
No, and they are going to hear from me. When you need them most, you simply can't find them.
Anyway, Miss Adams is safe. Everything's fine, so no need to lose any sleep over it.
I see. Thank you, my son. My son, I have another problem. I wanted to speak to you about something important. Do you still have my letter on you? The one I gave you in the hall?
Why do you ask?
I have a name to add to it.
It would have been my pleasure, but I don't have it with me, Your Eminence.
Why is that?
You remember that I came here to meet my mother. Well, I still haven't found her, and it's beginning to worry me. Given the importance of your letter and not knowing where it all might lead me, I've hidden it. His Eminence wouldn't want me to take the slightest risk, would he?
Excellent initiative, my son. But please tell me you haven't simply left it in your room, my son.
Don't worry. It is perfectly safe and sound.
Certainly, but where?
Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm not at liberty to say. The walls have ears here, and I refuse to put any of these people in danger. Give me the name you wanted to add, and I'll pass it on to my mother.
Very well. You seem to know what you're doing. Here is the name. Jean-Baptiste Joseph Goebel. Don't forget to give this name to your mother, or a good man will end up dead.
Are you prepared to trust me or not?
Of course, my son. Have a good night.
Exhausted. I better go to bed. I'll search my room tomorrow. If Mother stayed here right before me, you never know. And Mortimer had better show up.